riding my little red wagon anymore today. Nick.
Oh, I figured that could be the song.
Did he have more verses than you?
Same as the first.
Probably did.
Here you go, Randy.
A little bit worse.
I can't go now because
No. That's
I can't follow that.
You can't follow that.
You can't follow the Lil Red Wagon.
Sure you can.
You can't follow crap. Let's go. Move on.
It's mellow, so. I've got I've got that in my head now.
You're welcome.
I'm not used to being on top. Does that matter?
That's your thing, dude.
Don't like putting in the work. Close your eyes. Close the door. 'Cause you don't have to worry anymore. You're with the RCADCast tonight. That's it. It had one verse.
Woo!
Very nice.
That was probably your. I can't say it.
Exactly. That's not the best.
Is there a reason why Kayla had to put "boo" 4 times?
She doesn't like Dylan songs.
Spamming our chat.
She's not a big fan of. Nick.
I'm surprised she showed up because she's already like sending me pictures of I'm with the girls tonight. You know, the good podcast. I'm like, bye,
Okay.
bye, Felicia. Yeah.
Later.
Well, I liked the fact that you picked a Bob Dylan song, from one of my. It was one of my first albums that I picked up by Bob Dylan, which is a weird one.
I think that just the album cover of that record is very inviting. You know, like it's a very happy colored. You know, it's just him tipping the hat. You know, and it's like, oh, you know, it definitely was. You know, we could talk about Bob Dylan forever, but
Yeah, that's like Nick and Matt's like side podcast of just us talking about Bob Dylan. So, but
Kayla says she's listening to both at the same time.
You know, it brings it back around though to the fact that I think what was the last episode we named something about Dylan in the title.
Oh, we did. That's right.
Yeah. So, you know,
that was not on my mind.
we waited an entire week to make that relevant.
Well, anyone that was listening to us in the first 2 minutes has now left and gone to the broadcast because of all this great talk.
Well, we normally record on Wednesday night, but here we are on a Tuesday night because some of us have got some 4th of July plans. What?
I kept thinking it was Wednesday all day today.
Yeah, I did too.
I did too, yeah.
I was so confused.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much for me to get confused.
I'm just counting down the days, though. I am like so close. I'm going to be shoving off for an entire week. I've never wanted a vacation more than this year. And I feel like I might say that every year, but fuck all. Like, I need a vacation more than ever right now.
So where are you going to? Is it like a bubble type place? Is it a place?
No, I'm going to Sandwich, Massachusetts.
So what are the firework laws in the Cape
They're
Cod?
not legal. They're not legal in Massachusetts, but
Okay.
it's one of those things where they're definitely illegal in the state of Massachusetts, but it's going to be interesting this year because nobody follows that law. Everybody just drives to New Hampshire, gets their fireworks, comes back down. But what will be interesting is this year with the political and the political climate and all the stuff that's going on right now. There's I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely happening in this area where I'm hearing fireworks every single night.
Yeah.
And
It's either gunfire fireworks. It could be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fireworks.
I'm saying here it could be.
But they're starting to crack down on it because of number one, the fact that they're not legal in the state of Massachusetts, which is fine. But it would be interesting to see because if you think about, I'm going to pull up a map of Cape Cod just so I can.
Is that where Sandwich is?
It is, yeah. So I'm going to pull up this map here.
Is that named after somebody?
It's actually just stuck between two pieces of bread.
It's the Earl of Sandwich. Yeah. So I'm going to I'm gonna share my screen real quick so you guys.
I'm used to going like this because usually Matt's on top. But
I know you like to be on the bottom. I'll go ahead and share this. So if people want to know where Chris is going to be at, here you go, stalkers. This is the time. Screenshot this. All
right. So here is Sandwich. This little sliver of land right here. You see my mouse or no?
Yeah, I see it.
I can see your mouse all right.
So I'm literally going to be staying right there. Not Scussett, actually, right next to Scussett. Right over here.
Oh.
This little nub. That's right.
Well, how many people are going to be there?
Well, we've got 2 houses. So there's going to be
2 pixels worth.
Yeah. But what the point I was trying to make is that on the 4th of July weekend, what you see is like all these different towns. Like that's a private beach that we're on there, but there's town beaches all throughout the entire inside of the Cape.
So that's where everyone's going to get sick, right there.
But here's the thing: is that when on a clear night you can see Provincetown, right? And you can see the coastline over here on a clear night. So during the 4th of July week, all you see are fireworks that start all the way up here from near Plymouth. This is where Plymouth is, Plymouth Plantation. If I've heard about that place, Plymouth Rock. All you see is fireworks across the entire inside.
Can you get a picture of the rock for us?
It's the most boring fucking thing you've ever seen.
I would just like a photo. I've never seen it.
It's like he's annoyed. Like, we're gonna have to show you a rock.
I like that you just immediately went to pulling it up.
It's got a crack. So it's got a crack in it. So
just like the Liberty Bell.
Yeah. But anyway,
it's mainly because the rock landed on people.
Is that the real rock, or did they bring another rock? So that's the original rock from 1620.
However, what
started the Mummy.
The history that you don't know.
It's the Alamo. It's the Alamo of Massachusetts.
But the history that you don't know about that is there's actually a beach over here called First Encounter Beach.
Is that where aliens landed?
Yeah, where's the third?
Just thinking.
So what happened was in First Encounter Beach, which is like over here somewhere near the Audubon or whatever.
Now I saw it in a movie. Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower is where you had the first encounter.
So the First Encounter Beach was right over here. So the Pilgrims came and tried to crash over here around the national seashore. They got their asses kicked by the natives who were on that beach, and then they
Charlie Brown
going to Plymouth.
It looks like a little baby's arm.
It does. Yeah.
They call it the lobster claw sometimes too. That's Cape Cod.
I call it the kangaroo hands because if you zoom out and look at the states where they're shaped, like Maine is the head of the kangaroo, and Massachusetts is the hands, and then New Jersey's the feet, and then New York's the tail. Looks just like a kangaroo.
So right now that area is safe from COVID.
North Carolina is the penis.
So
North Carolina is the penis. I would say Long Island. Long Island is the penis. It's a kangaroo with an erection. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like a little map of that drawn out for me, like the cat playing with the ball.
So, Jack, to answer your question, I think what you're getting at is the safety around COVID in the coronavirus. So we're staying in a house, and it's a private beach. There's no one around us. We're not going to like a beach with people who pay to park and go to the beach. It's just the people who
those people
houses there. Yeah,
you're going with people who drink mimosa.
I should have my Lexus, but so we are on a private beach, and then we pre-buy everything. So we've already spent over $1,000 on food and beer already before we go. There's like 12 of us, there are 12 of us, including kids. We pre-buy everything, so when we get down there, we don't have to leave. We actually just park our asses in these 2 houses on the beach, and we only actually have to leave if we need to get ice, firewood, or beer. Is
everyone going to take their temperature before they go in?
Yeah, I'm being tested weekly now.
Really? Isn't that fun?
Work. So my work is providing us optional weekly testing, and it's not the invasive one where it goes and tickles your brain. It's a different type of test.
It actually goes up your ass. It's called
sideways.
Bend over, and I'll show you.
Yeah. So I'm being.
I had all that done a few weeks ago. So yeah.
But the people I'm going with, the people we'll be hanging out with, are people that I have been around during these last 3 months. So it's one of those things where we're good.
What if someone brings like a stranger? It's like
that didn't happen.
Yeah, my brother or my cousin came and visited at the last second, and
they can fuck right off.
They're gonna have to put their car keys in the hole just like everybody else does.
He's from Texas and Arizona. Don't worry about him. He's fine.
That's fine. They can go down to Rhode Island.
He just came up from Florida, so he's good.
Speaking of COVID news, I found out that my cousin has contracted it as well as his wife. So
really,
yeah. This is on my dad's side, so not the cousin that I am going to go visit over the 4th of July weekend. So that is where, if you've been listening to us over the years, I always mention it. But yeah, I go to Ohio to visit some family on my mom's side. But
second in flight?
Whatever, dude. So I visit family there. My cousin, who I'm closest with, because we're like 2 months apart in age and just grew up kind of like brothers. So always a good time visiting them. We camp outside. We're not going into their house. We're trying to keep. So we'll be doing all cooking and cleaning and what have you outside, and basically just swimming in a pond, being outside and trying to obviously like catch up with family members, but also being, respectful of just kind of keeping our distance and our space. So we'll see how that goes. But I found out though on my other side of my family, though, my dad's side, that my cousin, it was funny because I told my dad, oh yeah, I'm going to my, I'm going away for 4th of July. And he's like, oh, well, don't stop by your aunt and uncle. And I was like, well, I'm not going to. And he's like, well, they, so-and-so's got COVID and, your aunt and uncle, like they've been around them. And I was like, okay, good.
I was going to stop by there. Damn.
I was like, I'm guessing they didn't get it from going to a Black Lives Matter protest. Knowing that side of the family. So there you go. I have no idea where they got it. I hope they're doing okay.
Drink plenty of bleach.
Don't gargle with bleach, people. So you bathe in it. You actually use one of those like scrubbers, and you just scrub the body with bleach. What are we seeing here?
That's the backyard.
Oh, I thought it was Field of Dreams.
No, it's the backyard of where we're staying. So over there is the beach.
Oh, so you got that grass stuff, right?
Yeah, seagrass.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. But that's okay. I mean, I'd still go. I'm not a fan of the seagrass. I want water sitting in the tip.
That's what keeps the beach there.
Exactly.
It wasn't for the seagrass.
I get it,
but it would walk away.
I get it, but I just don't like it.
Yeah. So, do you actually get in the water? Is it cold?
The bay side of the water is actually warmer than the seaside usually, that's the bay side. It's not warm, but it's definitely refreshing. So Chris Doran says his best vacation recently was similar. It was a bunch of us drove down to the Outer Banks. Yeah, I'm told the Outer Banks experience is similar to the Cape, with the exception of the Outer Banks. You typically have a much more of like the surf, with waves and stuff because it's like right there on the seashore. This is on the bay side of the Cape, so it's on the inside of the arm, if you will. So it's a little bit more calm. But yeah, I can't wait. I got like 3 or 4 days left before I go. You can actually see some of the stockpiles of food behind me. That's just some of it. But we have. I'm telling you, we went down to
one of those chips.
Local. Yeah, those are chips from.
What is that big barrel shaped like a penis in the background? What is that?
That's a penis.
That's my dick.
Just for the listeners at home that can't see us live, I just want to paint a picture for them about the big giant fleshy.
You're looking at my Johnson.
Okay, thanks.
So
thanks for that.
No, so we've already gone. That's just some of it. This is the overflow into here. But yeah, so we're stocked up. We're ready to rock.
So you had to rent this out, right? Because before you stayed at family member's house or something like that?
Yeah, so that it all started, years ago, over a decade ago. We used to go down, and there was like this. It was like literally like a small, like 200 square foot like shack on the beach. That was my wife's aunt's like investment property that they rented out. It was a 2-bedroom with like a kitchen, dining room, which is all like one room type of situation. But it's all that you needed to be when you're on the beach. And we used to go there all the time. Hey, bud. Good night, buddy. Love you.
That is so sweet.
Can you close the door?
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
For those that are listening and don't understand what just happened, Chris just kissed his daughter goodnight.
Yes, hopefully she didn't hear the talk about my junk. That would be
Mommy.
What's that? When I come up, I will tuck you in. Yeah, love you.
If you gotta go, man, I mean, we've got this covered.
This is like my work, WebEx calls. This happens all the time. So we used to rent, or not rent. We used to go and stay for free if our friends, my wife's aunt's place. They within like 3 or 4 years ago they sold it because they're building a new house.
Bastards.
I know, right? So we've then had to move into the renting of a place, and we've rented a couple different places over the last 2 to 3 years. And this year we couldn't get a place big enough that was going to hold us because you have like 12 of us in total. So we had to rent 2 houses. Luckily,
are they next to each other?
Kind of. So the plots of land, there's a house that's closest to the water. There's a house in the middle, and there's a house that's closest to the road. So we've got the house closest to the water, and then the house closest to the road. Somebody's in between us. So hopefully they're not assholes.
What do you test them before you walk by them to get to the other house? Do you go, okay, I got to take your temperature? Do you have a mask? You should bring someone along named Karen so they could ask if they have a mask.
So you guys, funny story. So you guys saw that. I don't know if you saw the shirt shop that I opened up. I don't know if you saw that in the group.
I thought that was Geek Dad Life.
No, that was me, Geek Dad. That was the name of the store.
So it's actually your store.
I think there's going to be a lawsuit pending between trademarks of.
I know it's
the Geek Dad.
Right.
I didn't know that was your store.
I don't give a shit. I'll change the name if he doesn't want me to have it.
I thought of it. It's my thing.
Yeah, he's the only Geek Dad in existence.
Exactly.
Go pound sand. So, anyways, yeah, so I was in the shower last night, and it was wholesome cleaning myself. I wasn't doing anything inappropriate. And I started thinking about, these slogans, and I was like, grab him by the COVID, vote 2020. I don't know where it came from. Probably because I was watching a news coverage of him. So I was like, I'm going to go make a fucking shirt and sell it, see if it works. And then I'm like, man, I should make a Karen mask. So I made a mask that says, no, it's cool. I'm not going to ask you for your manager. and my friend Karen just bought one.
Nice.
What company are you using?
It's Spreadshirt. Yeah, I think it's called Spreadshirt. You simply just upload a file and then boom, it slaps it on all their products. I should probably do some editing on it so it doesn't look like a big white block with letters on it, but we'll see.
I saw a funny picture a few hours ago of a picture of a cafe. It's just the front of the cafe, and it says Karen's Cafe. That's the actual name of it. And then the below picture was like a Karen going, I would like to speak to the manager. And then voila, it's like, I'm Karen. Like, what do you do in this situation?
Yeah. Karen's aside and what have you, like I typically, knock on wood, don't have horrible customer experiences. But I had this email the other day. It's just like, and I'm not trying to be like the old dude here, but young people need to not email as though they're texting. Yeah. And I get this email and it's just like
the worst.
Yeah, it's just like ... like 5 dots for an ellipse, and I'm like, that's okay, and it's just like Matt ... what ... is this exclamation point caps, like what are you trying to pull? And I'm like, holy shit, dude, like this is not the way to like start a conversation with a company that you got the wrong item. We sent the wrong item. my fault, my bad. Guess what? That item doesn't exist because it is like we've reached this point in paper products, specifically my paper, whatever, you don't want to hear about it, but it's specialty paper. Some of the shit either isn't made anymore, cannot be imported, and then when it does get imported, it's not going to be here for another year or two, thanks COVID. So guess what? Get over your pretentious ass self and your $40 fucking order and goodbye. Okay? Like, here's the label. Send the paper back to me. Get off your fucking high horse. You're not getting your special paper. It's not in stock. It won't be here. Because that was the other emails. When will I get my paper? I'm just like, fuck you. Fuck this. I don't even, whatever. Like,
you're lucky, though. Because, I mean, back in Jack's days, when he ran a store, it was all dots, literally just and then those things could go on forever and ever. You had to speed it up, or it's just like, and Jack had to fill out the order form. It was
the dots and the dashes.
Dots and the dashes.
Yeah, this was all just dots and exclamation points. But I read between the lines. I'm a fucking asshole. Thank New York. Oh, this was weird, by the way. I wanted to mention this to you guys. Like, I think it was like last week, or maybe it was the week that Nick was gone. It was so weird. I went into work, and I kid you not, I had a shipment that was going to where Nick lives in Fort Collins. Oh. I had an order going to Raleigh, and sorry, I didn't have an order going to Franklin. But
we make our own goddamn paper. We need your shit paper.
What the fuck? I ship stuff to Massachusetts all the time. I just don't sell anything to yours.
In Franklin, they want the paper the good paper that you don't have. ...
I do get a lot of East Coast orders. So
we only shop for Dolphin Safe paper. Thank you very much.
That's true. Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyway, I just thought it was cool because I'm at work and I'm only putting together a couple orders. And what's up?
So would you told the guy to fuck off? ...
No. I was much more polite about that. But I basically went into like a very like direct business mode where it was just like, here's this, bam. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not going to engage in this any further. Just return it. I'll give you your money. That's it.
Did he keep the paper? I mean, is he returning it?
Oh, well, I got an email back that was basically like, well, bear with me because I don't have a printer right now, so I can't. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, yeah.
You don't have a printer.
You don't have a printer, but you needed this, like, and I'm.
What does he need a printer for to return the paper?
For a label. They
have this thing called a fucking Sharpie.
Well, I mailed him a free label, so anyway.
I realize I'm old, but you can you could write the goddamn address on there.
I've been a little bit more temperamental with business stuff lately, just because I've been so focused on housework that I've been kind of like pushing, creating a little bit of distance between me and work. So, which we all need to do. Work can become this overwhelming thing where we feel like we have to give everything out of our lives to like make capitalism run. And anyway, I've been pulling back a little bit. So progress on the attic. I got people in the house.
So you had a big hole in it.
The hole was actually I was cutting for heating and AC. So
I almost made a Slumdog Millionaire joke, but I thought that would have been poor taste on your Facebook page.
Matt's turning into Grumpy Jack.
Sometimes I have some Grumpy Jack moments for sure.
It does make me. It does make me
label Jack. Well,
it makes me curious though about like just being able to properly format a letter. If that's like a generational thing, where it's going away.
I learned from Blue's Clues.
From Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues. That's an Office episode.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys did it, but every thing I ever received in high school, I had to write a thank you note. I had to write. It couldn't be like just a generic like thanks, Mr. Jack. It was like very specific. Like you had to format. And I do this to this day. Like when I went to India, because their cultures are different when it comes to weddings. Like they're responsible for all the guests, and so like they put me and my mom up in a little house, and all this stuff at their expense, And so when I got back, I wrote them like this huge thank you note, and that's not in their culture. So when they flew to see their kids here in the States, they brought the letter like, what is this letter? And I was like, it's just a thank you note, But I don't know. That's something that I
thanks for killing more trees is what they were saying to you.
I guess, yeah. But if I take the time to actually write a letter or even an email, I do it, properly. I think about what I'm going to say instead of just like we're saying like versus a text message of going like, "You suck, Matt. I want my paper now, you bastard," or I'm going to give you a negative review, or whatever.
There's a 1 star.
I think there is a certain progress though to emails, whether you're corresponding with a business or you're corresponding with another person, where there's the initial email where it's a little bit more formal, where you have the person's name at least, a comma, the body, and then a closing remark, whether it's sincerely or regards or whatever you want to do. Thank you. I don't care. And then your name, right? And then after that, there is the response, and then typically, if you're having a lot of questions back and forth, it's okay to kind of go away from the formalities at that point, because you're just going back and forth, like saying like, hey, do you have this? Do you have this? Blah, blah, blah. And at that point, it's okay to like dissolve, I think, the formality of, formal letter, writing kind of style and go into more of a question, call and response kind of thing. If it's in a regards to, or, a response, but for an initial email, and I'm not the only person. I have a close friend of our family who she runs a business, and she was kind of lamenting this thing. Like, what is up with this? I'm not trying to make a generational like assessment here. So it might not just all be young people. Okay. Like, I'm not making that claim, but there tends to be though a group of people out there, whoever the fuck they are, that decide to just write as they text. Young people, you are going to do it. I won't go there. So
I'm speaking for you.
Okay, thanks.
I was going to say because you talked about shipping, and I used to have the mailbox, etc., and maybe UPS John the UPS guy can back me up on this, but that people used to wrap string around their packages, and I was told you don't take string. We don't want the string on the packages because it's all conveyor belts. It gets stuck, it ripped. And I know the post office that way. And I had a lot of older customers, but I didn't have the young customers. They didn't know how to text. But they would come in. They spent a lot of time putting the string on there. I'd be like going, I got to cut this. They go, why? I go, I can't take the box with the string on it because the UPS won't take the box and post office won't take the box, so I got to cut this. So it got so bad, I would just wait till they left
and cut it,
and cut the string. Or what I would do is I'd actually tape over with clear tape the string because they were having fits.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like going because even brown paper, you didn't want the brown paper because a lot of times the brown paper will rip off. The box keeps going down the conveyor belt. The address is on the paper.
Yeah,
but
it's gone.
That's why I always put clear tape over the address in case it rained or got moist.
Exactly. We're talking professional level stuff.
There you go. So,
yeah, and you try not to get a little crinkle in that in case they scan it. All sorts of stuff.
I was pretty good at the tape. So
shipping 101.
Yeah.
So
I could have probably have taught it. I mean, it was just.
Chris, did you change your like?
Yeah, he did.
How did you?
Yeah.
Like he's done that a couple of times. I'm like, what? How'd you do that?
Yeah. Oh, I see how you do that. Huh? That's interesting.
Here I am.
Wow. Oh yeah, I see edit name. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, wow.
Cool.
That's
Never
cool.
thought
That's
about
a new
it.
feature that hasn't always been there.
Okay.
Oh.
Fun stuff that we're learning as we go.
Hey, live technology.
So I know a lot of people.
So John the UPS guy is agreeing with me. Paper rips off too. String gets stuck in this. Sorts of the belts. I remember I took a tour of the main post office in San Diego, and they were throwing. I said, should we be watching this? They were throwing the packages that were being sorted by zip codes. This is before they started doing it, with computers started taking over. And they were bouncing up. They had these like big bends, and they were bouncing off the. I go, but that's going in a bend that wasn't. They go, yeah, and there was literally mail on because the thing would go through the letters would go through the thing and they get all jammed at times and go. and be all over the floor. I go, well, when do you guys get those? They go, at the end of the night, we'll pick them up.
You remind me of a story I'm going through right now. It's a troubling time for me and my household. So, back in the early days of lockdown, I fell prey to a Facebook advertisement, or maybe it was Instagram, either way. I bought these really sweet camping chairs. They're like little camping chairs, they're little mini hammocks. They swing back and forth. And it was like $30. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to buy them. And it was like, 4 to 6 weeks delivery. So I order it. I got a shipping notification. It was shipping from Shenzhen, China, I believe it was. And it sat. I watched the tracking happen and live, and it was stuck at Shenzhen Airport for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Finally made it to Los Angeles, and then it said it was in Brisbane, and I freaked out for a second. Then I realized, no, it's Brisbane, California, not Brisbane, Australia. Yeah. So it went from like an international carrier, and it's now changed hands, and it looks like it's gone through Pitney Bowes, which is Pitney Bowes works with the United States Postal Service to handle packages that come from international.
Pitney Bowes.
And I'll tell you right now, it's ghosted. I have no idea where it is. I was hoping when I ordered these things back in April that I'd be having them for my vacation that's coming up.
I'll bring them to you when I'm done.
I haven't gotten my goddamn chairs yet, and I'm hoping that they come. I tried disputing it with PayPal, but the guys responded saying, well, we shipped it. Here it is. And it just shows Pitney Bowes.
But you haven't received it. And there should be a record of you not receiving it.
Truth. But they provided a tracking number.
Why is Pitney Bowes involved?
So Will says, I know exactly which chairs you bought. I almost bought those too. Good thing you didn't, because you'd be fucking waiting a long time. So Pitney Bowes apparently handles the logistics of stuff that comes off of shipping crates and freight, whatever, coming from international. So it's the point in which the package comes into the States and it gets sorted and it gets handed off. And Pitney Bowes handles the logistics of handing it then to USPS. So that then is going to make it across country to me. Long story short, I'm not getting my fucking chairs for my vacation, and I'm pretty pissed about it. Unless by some crazy miracle that it happens to arrive.
You should go Karen on them.
To me, as long as it arrives, I'm happy. Because what I like about ordering stuff from China is that they don't put the amount of money you spent on the package. Because if you order something over $1,000 from Europe, you're paying taxes on that. So. That's the trade-off. I will happily wait a month or more.
Yeah, I used to tell my customers sending things to Canada, they would. I go, no, don't list it over $40.
Yeah,
they go, but it's worth $500. I go, your people on the other end are going to have to pay a tax on it. They go, what do you mean? I go, they're going to have to pay a tax on it. It's going to be held up, and they're going to have to pay a tax. I learned that the hard way because customers sent something. It was like, I think it was a large amount, and they had to wait for them to go to the Canadian post office to pay the tax on it. I go, Canada's tough because I had one where I sent Disney videotapes, and we just put videotapes on the custom tag, and it got held up because they don't take porn from. You can't send porn to Canada, so they held it up. I go, why don't you just open it up and just play the tape and seal it back up? And I think I forget the country, but someone sent all these vitamins to a family member in another country. They opened it up and poured them out, and then sent the empty containers because they thought they were drugs. Now, who gets yelled at? like I did it, like it was my fault. But anyway,
so we'll see. We'll see if I end up getting these chairs, but I don't know. Hopefully. Because right now I'm looking at it. So first of all, I discovered this when I moved into my new house. You know how when you actually set up for like mail forwarding, you ever had to do that? And you get the mail forward over. Well, they offered this service to me, and I keep getting it, which is kind of cool because what it is, it's called informed. Let me look at the email real quick. It's called USPS and informed delivery. So I get an email every morning with pictures of everything that's being delivered to my house that day. So I get get a photo of every envelope that's being sent, and I get little package notifications of everything that's being delivered that day, which I think is kind of cool.
We've had that for a couple of years here.
Oh, have you? Yeah. So that was new when I moved in, and they haven't turned it off. So I just keep getting emails and tells me where everything is.
The only problem is sometimes we'll get Cindy goes, "Oh, this is coming today in the mail." I'll go out and get the mail. I go, She goes, well, it said it was coming, but our post office route is, I've been told by some of the carriers, we have the route nobody wants. It's like the longest route in the area, and sometimes they're out to like 7:00 at night delivering the mail, and nobody wants it. So I think sometimes they go, fuck it, I'll just do it tomorrow, because there's sometimes we get nothing, no mail, no junk mail, nothing, and then the next day the thing's stuffed with mail. So I think we have Newman as our mail carrier.
Hello, Newman.
But I did want to tell a story. My wife, I had to stop my wife from being Karen this week. We had we got the construction going on next to us and stuff like that. And earlier was it last week that somebody knocked on our door, a construction guy, and then my wife didn't answer the phone. I was sleeping. So he goes walking back. So this week, last week, a delivery person comes with Bojangles. And I jump up because we have the camera. You can see, we have cameras everywhere, so I can see. So I jumped up and said, "Oh no!" It was the people. It was the construction guys. They're using our address to order their food and have delivered. They got pizza. My wife's going, "Well, that's not right." And I go, "Is it really a bitch?" She goes, "Who are you? You used to bitch and complain about this." I go, "There's worse things going on in the world today." I go, one of them's going to have a cell phone out. They're going to film you getting mad at them, and then you're going to be viral, and they're going to say you're the fucking Karen. So just let it go. Let it go. I go, it's not worth it. I go, who cares? Who cares? She goes, well, what if they do something wrong and no one's going to deliver to our house anymore? I go, they'll deliver to our house. We're fine. It's good. I go, you're at work during the day. I'm the one who has to deal with it. So.
See, not all heroes wear capes, Jack, and I think you just saved your wife
I did
a long ordeal.
Yeah, I said, because I just did a video about Karens, and so I've been watching a lot of Karen videos. I go, you don't want to be a Karen. You don't want to be a Karen.
No, Karen's getting real popular.
You're fucking labeled for life. And a lot of times I look at these Karen videos and I go, all right, we're only seeing a part of the Karen video. What happened to start that Karen video, right?
I can't help but recognize the gestures that Matt is making. I'm assuming you're making a reference to that lovely couple in wherever the fuck that was.
Oh wait, sorry. Here, let me get my eyes out. So they're really weird.
To be fair, they were on their own property, right?
Yeah.
The best part though is that someone did a zoom in screenshot of her. It's like she's got the eyes of someone who's been drinking and popping pills for years. Her finger on the trigger signifies that she has no fucking clue how to use that gun.
Exactly.
And number two, the mustard stain in her shirt states that sandwich was fucking delicious.
They have a nice house.
Oh yeah,
they're millionaires. They're both like lawyers.
But their property, and someone's breaking into their property. I mean, it's like, what do you?
No, it was a gated community.
Someone broke. So they stormed into like a gated community to protest the mayor's house.
Yeah,
who happens to be up in that area.
But that wasn't the mayor.
No, they're literally walking down the street, and then they had an AR-15 pointed at them.
I thought it was their property.
Memes are fantastic.
The memes are on. Yeah, those are.
So basically, you're right, Jack. In that, so the protesters is on private property, not their property. Their property is on, but is a gated community, and they broke the gate, which is illegal trespassing, which is a misdemeanor.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just saying, but that's what it is. Yeah,
I thought it was their property because I said, "God, that's a big fucking house."
No one was ever on their property.
Oh, okay, they don't need to have a gun out and all right.
The sad part is that by law they did nothing wrong.
Well, okay,
neither one of them did. Oh, I'm sorry. The protesters did by misdemeanor trespassing, but the people did nothing wrong.
But at the time, did they know? I'll play devil's advocate here. Did they know what do they call him? They're calling him what's that Brad Pitt Angelina Jolie movie?
Oh,
Mr. and Mrs.
Smith, yeah.
Smith, or Heart to Heart. A lot of people say, probably before your time, the TV show. But did they know they weren't coming at their house?
No.
Well, it's not.
That's the bullshit part of this. They knew damn well that they weren't threatening them in their house. They knew damn well that the protest was going to the mayor's house. They were just being giant fucking douchebags by standing out there with his Brooks Brothers polo and his shitty fucking dad khakis, holding a gun that was clearly overcompensating for his small micro penis, and then his alcoholic wife
really
pointing around a derringer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You made comments earlier about the wife. You think she knew anything that was going on at the time?
No.
So she probably shouldn't have had a gun.
Shouldn't have had a gun. And I am drawing conclusions based upon absolutely fucking nothing. I will put that disclaimer down. I'm just going off what it looked like to me, and the way it shows up to me is that these guys were trying to make a fucking scene by pointing their guns because they physically and legally could do that. And I think they were hoping that they're going to be filmed.
I would like to draw a few conclusions right now about this podcast and pull this whole fucking thing over.
I don't like your name anymore. Fuck off.
And say we need a commercial break right here, right now. Let's do this. I'm holding up a big, huge pink Uzi gun.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, that's at Chris's place. That's at Chris's place.
Someone likes to brag.
Commercial break right now. And we're back. Whew, that was a big, huge, long.
Yeah, Chris, I would actually argue though, because I mean, I've taken gun safety courses in Tennessee and Colorado, and the husband, I don't think you could charge him with anything because he doesn't. At least from the photos I've seen, he hasn't pointed it physically at anyone. But the wife, however, that is something that, and if you ever have a concealed carry permit,
get away from my house.
If you point it at anyone, it's basically a crime because you're basically at that point, you're basically assaulting them at that point because you are threatening their life.
I don't know. I don't know enough about any of that.
She had the gun backwards, pointing it. So I don't know.
The best if a little stick came out and a little flag rolled out and just says bang. But it was just they're just being douchebags. Like they did it to like share, to stand out there and show that they had power over people walking by their house.
When I first saw it, I go, "That's a fucking house."
Apparently, though, that like they physically built that, not themselves, but they have restored it over like the last 20 or 30 years, and that's one of the reasons why they stayed there, even though that neighborhood for the most part had been abandoned. In some story I read, they said that's the reason why they wanted to protect it because they've invested so much money into it. They were scared.
Yeah. It's the Antifa.
Yeah, Will in the chat says they didn't know Fox News has them convinced them that Antifa is coming to burn their house down. Yeah, that's a good point. I read another article today. It's like Fox News is doing to our parents what they thought video games were doing to us 10 years ago. They just try to picture the
or even 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I did want to mention that we had a versus. Speaking of douchebaggery,
wow, are you calling our listeners douchebags now?
No, just
Jesus
Jack.
Christ, man! What the fuck?
What?
Matt, first you're calling me an ass, and now you're just saying fuck the listeners, fuck them.
Unbelievable, dude.
I didn't say that about the listeners. I did not say that about the listeners.
I don't know. I kind of heard that.
I was meaning about the people that picked beer, but here are the results of that. So 79 total votes.
That's it. That was a shitty versus, then, huh?
Was the shittiest versus that someone had ever picked ever.
I agree.
If there was a versus of versus,
we should have a fifth option for. I don't like any of these four choices. Your choices suck. That would probably win.
Every time.
CJ would love that one.
That's why we can't do it.
I blame the person who picked the verses because they didn't establish clear rules. Because as soon as I heard, I heard this. If you just said beer, like I'm going with a beer for my summer drink.
I got a great idea.
Would have won hands down, but no, you had to be very specific about it. So that's why I was like,
I had to be inclusive to the people of the podcast that just don't have the stones to drink beer.
So
shots fired at this guy.
Yeah, at me. I get it. So
hey man, you started it. I'm gonna finish it.
I wasn't even bringing up your shitty ass beer. I was mainly just bringing up the Corona, which beat your ass.
It did. It did.
So, okay, Nick won with a whopping total of 40 votes.
Snobs.
40 votes.
Fucking rich ass people going.
Like,
You gotta know your audience.
I'm actually really disappointed that mimosa is the summer drink of choice. What is this?
Yeah,
I mean, fucking Gilmore Girls.
It's citrusy and refreshing.
Who goes on a? Because it's a brunch drink. Isn't it kind of like a brunch drink?
It is.
Yeah, it's like you drink that on Mother's Day brunches, not summers on the beach.
Not when it's summer. When it's the beach, you take. I mean, come on. That's the problem with our listeners. There's not enough information in the poll to explain to them. Okay, you're being stupid.
Look, I'm picturing beach grass, sand, out there on the Cape, with a nice old-fashioned blanket, and a picnic basket, and then there's like a guy and his husband with strawberries, and then like some orange juice and some champagne, and going like, "Honey," that's what I'm picturing Chris and his wife down there doing that. Yeah.
No, it's the two people at that house with their guns. Get away from my beach.
So Randy makes a good point. Like if you're going to go for a good drink like that, you choose a margarita.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't like margaritas, but I could have lived with that.
I would pick a margarita over a mimosa 9 times out of 10.
I don't know why you're shitting on Nick. Nick won.
I'm not shitting on Nick. I'm shitting on the fact that our fucking listeners voted for it. Okay. I think it's a fucking travesty to be honest.
I know our audience.
I'm going to say right now, it's not our listeners. It's the people that don't listen.
I think Nick knew exactly what he was doing.
He played his cards right.
He played his cards right. He was the Trump of this whole thing. He was basically like, "Fuck y'all, I'm going for a certain gender demographic here."
Yeah, exactly. Don't blame me because I won. Blame the system.
Blame the system.
Hey man,
blame the system. The guy who established the rules and the verses did not do his job, and that's why I won.
All right, so another quarter of the votes went for Corona. Another quarter, 20 votes went for Corona.
If you're on the beach,
I also don't think that's I don't disagree with that. I think Corona is actually one of the most popular summer drinks that there is. I chose to go with my own personal thought, right? My own personal pick. Mm-hmm. I get that. Corona is the J pick of this conversation. I should say Corona should have been the J pick of this conversation. Mimosa, the fact that mimosa was even considered is literally blowing my mind. Like I can't understand how mimosa is associated. Mimosas are what you have at baby showers, not on the beach.
You can have mimosas with anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
like if someone busts out a mimosa when I'm on the beach, I'd probably slap it out of their hand. No, I wouldn't. I'd probably throw it back.
You can use pineapple juice.
Chase it with a beer.
You can use peach juice. You can throw different juices in there. The type of bubbly that you use. I mean,
so Kim makes a great point. I'm anything but a rich snob, but it's fun having bubbly with wine with OJ once a year.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
Not during the summer. It's for a special occasion, like
the names of the people that voted for
or brunch.
I'm not going to do that. That is not fair. You can do that on your own podcast. Yeah. I hear that you run one.
Do that on your own time. Yeah. Don't be exposing our voters.
I just vehemently disagree with the choices of our listeners this past
week. Fair enough.
I almost quit.
You picked High Life.
We thought you
and
were
Corona.
Yeah.
Because then they had no choice, okay? They had High Life and Corona, and then something majority of them had never even heard of.
If you're on the beach, you go to the beach, you don't take a high-class beer. You take you take a cheap beer, you go to the beach.
But that's what we didn't say beach. We just said summer drink. That's the reason why the rules.
But fair. Summer drink, okay, again.
Baby shower drink.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the drink that you drink to piss off the expected mother because she can't yet drink. So you make it look like it's orange juice.
I fully support Nick on this. So congrats. Tip of the hat. So
you're all dumb.
Well, before we go on, I'm going to go on. Is you had a picture of Tom Brady there with that. I thought it was a great.
Oh, here, I'll bring that back up. I brought up America's Funniest Home Videos in the background here, so let me bring this up.
That's good Photoshop work.
I thought that was excellent.
That's fantastic. I love that picture.
because I saw it before you posted the link. I was like going, because it showed up on YouTube. I go, oh, that's excellent. But I got to ask Chris, what do you think about the Cam?
Dude, okay, so this came out of fucking left field, right?
Well,
nobody expected. At least I did not expect us to make a big name quarterback signing. Like it has been kind of, it's been shared around that Stidman was going to be our guy, and he was going to be our quarterback. What's that?
I've never even heard of that guy. I mean,
he's been around. He's been in the system for a bit. So it's been established around here, and people have just kind of come to terms with the fact that he's our new guy, right? This for me, like, totally blew my mind. And I heard it at first. I'm like, wait a minute, we just signed Cam Newton. Did we just lose our entire fucking team budget in one signing? Right. and then I looked at it, I'm like, holy shit, we got the deal of the century with him. It is short money. It's very, very low risk for the Patriots.
$7.5 million.
Super, super high gain. It's all incentive laden. And then I really started getting to think a little bit about more of the whole setup, what it's going to be like. And having a wildcat offense in New England is going to be so much fun to watch. We've got a really solid team around him and people that can jump in on that.
Well, the problem is he shouldn't be running anymore. That's been his problem. I mean, if he's healthy, to be honest with you, I was shocked no one took a chance on him. But if he's healthy, it's an amazing signing. Because but unfortunately, the last 3 years he's been injured because all those years of he's a big guy. And I wouldn't want to tackle him.
He's a fullback, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I would let him. Okay, fuck it. I tripped on the turf or something. There's no way I'd get in front of that guy and try to stop him. But he's been hit so many times because he doesn't slide. He actually looks for people to hit that he's paid the price. But I'm shocked that nobody took a chance on him with all the bad quarterbacks out there in the league.
Yeah.
Look at the Chargers, fucking LA Chargers.
I mean,
Tyrod Taylor is their quarterback.
The way I look at it is it's a win-win for the Pats. They sign him for short money. If he has an okay year, move on next year. If he has a great year, you restructure a deal to get him back. But as of right now, like, it's looking pretty good for the Patriots.
That's if we have football.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. What I was thinking for Cam. I'm like, well, this is a 1-year deal. This is great because you might not even play.
Are there contracts? Because I know the baseball season they had to have was the baseball contracts because they're guaranteed the contracts. Did they get paid? No matter because they're only going to play 60 games supposedly. I still don't know if it's going to happen. But do they get their full contracts? Now the NFL, if they don't play this year, do they get their full contracts? And like those players, like say a Joey Bosa, who's on his 5th year or his 4th year, is he now? Does this year count if they don't play? Is what I'm saying.
NFL players get paid if there is no season.
I bet they probably get like there has to be a contract thing like that where they get paid a base, but
yeah.
Probably
I didn't follow the whole baseball thing because I didn't think it was going to happen because I still don't think when you get all these players together,
right.
I don't think it's a smart idea. Especially, the places they were talking about playing were Arizona and Florida for baseball, where the two hot spots are Florida and Arizona. So I don't know how.
I mean, when they're playing though, they are socially distanced when they're out in the field.
Yeah, but I guess they can't spit. They can't lick their lips when they're like the pitcher always goes.
Oh, right.
And I love it when they lick their lips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently, the NBA players lose 1% of their salary for every game that is missed, and then the NFL does not have a clear definition of how that's going to look like.
Really, is the NFL because the NFL is so, the owners have such a control over the players. It's
should be interesting.
It's just an interesting thing, and I don't see how because they keep saying it's going to get worse. I mean, they're saying it's just. This is the tip. I mean, it's going to get. They said the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a nightmare because you had everything that's going on for for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then everybody opened up too quick. And
you said they're not gonna get paid if they don't play. That's what this looks like.
Well, there's a couple NBA players that said, "No, I'm done. I'm not coming back until this is taken care of."
Yeah.
I got a family there, and also Ian Desmond from the Rockies. He said, "No, I'm not coming back."
That takes huge balls, man. I mean, seriously, that takes some serious balls. To what would I miss?
Sorry, we're just Nick and I are over here having our own conversation about tips and
balls.
I just saw that.
We cannot help ourselves. So
I'll tell you though, that takes a lot of balls to come back and say, you know what, I'm not going to come and play in front of whatever stands or I mean.
Well, I don't think they're not going to have fans. In fact, they've been asking the Chargers how that works. So, play games with no fans in the stands. But no, what Will said about the NHL, I don't know how the NHL plays. Like I said, the rinks in town are opening up here. They're not supposed to be, but they're opening up the ice skating rinks, and parents are bringing their kids to these rinks for practice and hockey because I've seen
the parents in jail.
Well, it's the worst because, especially in an ice rink, the air is. If one person says sneeze, that's not going around. It's going to just stay there while everybody skates into it. All that I just can't believe
they're literally fucking killing people.
I can't believe they're bringing their kids into that situation. I just blew me away.
It's the same as with the airlines. I mean, I think. Who was it? Delta or somebody was the last one to hold out of actually spacing people out. But I mean, the way the air circulates in a plane doesn't matter where you're sitting. If one person has it, you've got it.
It's like when I flew I flew an airplane back in 1984 or whatever. This was before.
I didn't know you were a pilot.
Okay, I rode in a plane in 1984 commercial.
You rode in a plane.
So
and you flew in a plane
at the time. This was back in the 80s, and so you could still smoke on an airplane. And I mean, it's one of those early memories that I can still tell my kids, hey, I remember when you could still smoke on planes. They still haven't gotten rid of that fucking no smoking sign. Who in that? Is some time traveler coming?
Or the ashtrays in some planes.
Yeah, I'm is a time traveler? Are you expecting someone?
Because you're flying on a plane that was built in 1987.
Yeah, no shit, but. Anyway, I mean, there's just the idea though that when people did smoke on a plane, they smoked at the back of the plane,
right?
Whatever. You could still, it didn't go out of the plane; it just stayed in the cabin.
Well, you got people that work at say a drugstore or a grocery store. They smoke in front of the store. So as you're walking in, what do you get hit with?
I will say though, I mean, I was talking about this with somebody recently. At least up here in the Northeast, it's probably much different in North Carolina and in the South because that's tobacco country. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Was I not supposed to write that?
No.
Okay.
Moving on. Wow, that just threw me off. I don't see.
Sorry.
Why don't you post your picture from last week while you're at it?
I'm talking about an actual. Never mind. Go ahead. It's topical, not condoning it.
I don't see a lot of people smoking anymore. Cigarettes it's a rarity now, at least in my area. I don't see a lot of people smoking. So much so that when I do see somebody, I'm I stare them down inadvertently. I'm not trying to. I'm just
the fuck is your problem?
Are you smoking weed? Oh no, it's a cigarette.
Yeah.
Who does that shit?
Mm.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's definitely a generational thing for sure. When I was growing up, as all of us were growing up, it was very common, and but then think about when Joe Cool for Camel and all that stuff kind of went away, and all the advertising went away, and it kind of got stigmatized, and for a good reason. But it does crack me up. Tennessee is one of those states, and I think it varies per county, but I know Knox County, where I used to live, if it's a bar and grill, you can smoke inside after 9:00, but it's at the owner's discretion. So if they want to, they can. If the owner allows it, then you can. But if you're not, then you can't. And it does crack me up, though, at certain bars you walk into, and it's just, to me, it's normal. Like, oh, well, you're in a bar. Like, to me, it's normal to have people smoking inside of a bar. But then you go to like somewhere like Massachusetts or New York, and you're like, oh, it's just different. It's just what you're used to.
Smoking in bars for at least 15, almost 20 years now. Mm-hmm. I remember I used to smoke in bars when I was in college. It was right after I got out of college when they banned it. There was a bar, Bennigan's. Is Bennigan's a chain? I don't know if it is or not, but it's kind of
it used to be nationwide.
Yeah, so Bennigan's was in my town, which I went to school.
Got shit faced Bennigan's one time.
Oh, it's all the time. It's great. I have a couple Bennigan's cups that I use all the time. I completely stole. But the way the restaurant was set up, you walk into the doors and it was like a big donut, right? All of the table services are all around the outside of the donut, and in the center, like right where the center of the donut was the bar. So it's kind of like everything was kind of wrapped around the bar. And when the smoking ban went into play, they actually put up glass windows on the center part. So you walk in, restaurant around, and then in the center of the donut was the bar. And they put glass doors and they sealed up that room. And it was literally a fucking
cloud.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, if you go to the airports and they have the smoking rooms, it's almost like why would you be in there? It's almost like an episode of Kramer where he's got all the smoking buddies there. His face is like leather and his teeth are all yellow because smoking stuff. It's I don't know. My mom's so I got to be careful.
I know. When we first moved to our city here, they were implementing a statewide ban in Indiana on all smoking in public, establishments, basically. And there was a big hoopla kind of in our neighborhood, and there were certain restaurants, not even bars, but restaurants that were trying to skirt the law, get around the law. And I remember running into this one restaurant owner who was just like livid. And she's, telling me like, there's no proof that secondhand smoke causes this stuff. And I'm just like, you know what, lady, like you don't know me from Adam, but I'll tell you what.
Same woman who refuses to wear a mask today.
She's that woman's gone now. So she died, but,
died from secondhand smoke.
I don't know what she died from, but she did. And I'm not happy. I'm not like dancing on her grave or anything.
That had Dan Killer.
At the time, though, when she went off on me, I just was like, you don't know me. You don't know the fact that my grandfather died of emphysema. My mom died of heart failure due to smoking. Like it is a disgusting disease. I was a smoker. It's a hard drug to quit, harder than any other drug. And I don't know. I haven't done heroin, but it is a hard drug.
It's easy to kick.
Heroin?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, but I just
Ewan McGregor.
People, businesses adapt. I mean, like all of the restaurants and bars around here, like people just go outside to smoke.
I know the bowling alley business. I know in San Diego they were really worried about it, and they did suffer. I don't know about now, but they were because most bowlers. I used to joke around. I'm an athlete. I put like 10 cigarettes in my mouth. So I'm a bowler. I should be in the Olympics. Anyway,
like John Belushi sketch.
Yeah. But they would get all pissed off at me because I didn't smoke, but I was picking on them for being, smokers. But a lot of people quit bowling because because bowling you can't just go outside because your bowling shoes, if they get something on them, you're gonna stick. You're gonna stick to the. Have you guys bowled before?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't. But you know what? How you if you do get some water on your shoe or something, you know how you fix it? Cigarette ashes. You put it on the shoe, so you lose that. So you couldn't. So that it did hurt the business for a while. I think some bowling alleys did fold because a lot of the smokers said, "Oh, not going in there anymore." So anyway, so but I always thought it should be up to the individual owner. If you want to have it, should be you can have smoking. If you don't have smoke, because I wouldn't go in there. Then we first moved here, we went to a restaurant and they said, smoking or not smoking? I go, what?
Yeah, that's say too. I remember just 10 years ago, we went to a restaurant and then asking us that, like, smoking or non-smoking. And I was like, where's the difference? Like, it's just one big area.
Yeah. But they didn't even have it. So I said, well, non-smoking. So we sit down, we're this one row, the row over is smoking. I go, there wasn't even a glass. I go, do you have another table? Because I can't sit here. And they're like, oh. I go, should there be like a, glass? They said, well, no, it's not mandatory. I go,
I used to work back when I was in high school. I used to work at, it goes on, there's a few different names. Abdal's Big Boy. There's the Big Boy Burger. It was a chain on the East Coast. I don't know if
Bob's Big Boy?
Bob's Big Boy. It's I think it was like the same family of restaurants. The kid holding the burger up in the air.
Right.
Yeah. So I worked at. It was called Abdal's Big Boy where I was. I don't know what the relationship is or whatever. But dude, I worked at this place and I smoked cigarettes in the back, like while cleaning dishes and while prepping food. We all smoked cigarettes. Like that's just how it was back in the day. And when I say prepping food, I wasn't like on the line cooking, but I was like organizing stuff in the back. Everybody was smoking. The managers were smoking. The waitresses were smoking. The dishwashers were smoking. Like it just nobody fucking cared, and because no one was smart enough to realize how fucking terrible it was.
I think the last time we went to a Waffle House many years ago, at least 10, 12 years ago, the woman cooking our food was smoking. Yeah. She had a cigarette out the side. She's like, and I'm like, going, I don't like too much ash in my waffles.
Well, I'll tell you about Waffle House. I'm sure you have them in Indiana. I'm not sure about Massachusetts, but
definitely not.
Not anymore. But like in the recent 10 years or so, but all the tiles in Waffle House were purposely brown for that reason, because it was a trucker stop forever. People would go in there at 2 or 3 in the morning and just be smoking and eating, and then so they made everything side brown so the nicotine wouldn't stain it because it was already stained brown.
No shit.
Yeah. That's where I did a lot of my college homework. I would go to the waffle. Well, here in Indiana, they're called Waffle and Steak as opposed to Waffle House, because there was already a Waffle House restaurant established.
I thought you were making a JP joke.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
No, and JP, we did talk about the non-smoking section of an airplane earlier. So anyway, but going to Waffle and Steak or what most people know as a Waffle House, like you could just sit there and what
I'm laughing at
Will's comment.
Will say
It's truth. It's truth. Yeah. Go ahead, Matt.
We want to share that with everybody else.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't really have anything to say. It was just a great place to go, drink endless cups of coffee, read, and then smoke cigarettes, and chain smoke.
And use their free internet?
No,
they didn't have internet.
Not back then.
No. Yeah. But I smoked for probably about 8 years, and it was a year after my mom died that I was just like, no, immediately after she passed away, like I just was emotionally distraught. I just had to get through the first year. But I did decide, like, okay, this has got to be something that I change. And I started dating my wife at the time, who wasn't my wife. But it was a great moment for me to kind of say, all right, I'm going to kick this habit. And, there was a lot of wine drinking. There was a lot of pot smoking. And I did the patch, and I never looked back, basically. And now if I do smoke a cigarette, like it just gives me an immediate headache. So it's just like drinking a beer or something.
I was going to say it's like a beer to you.
It is. But worse because it makes me throw up. So like within that night, it crosses the wires in my brain.
That's a good thing. That'll keep you from smoking again.
Yeah, I only really enjoy like the first drag, or when you're hanging out at a bar and everybody's outside, or I don't know, like it's more of just kind of a social thing, which is how I picked it up. But
it's like the episode of Friends where Chandler had quit smoking.
Oh yeah,
somebody goes outside. They're at a club. And he follows them out there, and they're out there smoking, and some woman is just like talking to her friend, looking away, and she has her hand like here, and he's back here behind her, and he just slowly takes a drag off her cigarette. He's like, "Oh, sweet, with Jesus, that's so good." It's just funny. I know what you mean, though. Not that I was ever a smoker, but
just to clarify for Jesse in the chat, if you do smoke, there's only been again, I could probably count 5 times on my hand, like the number of times after I quit. And I quit in 2003. So I'm about 17
years. Nice.
Yeah. So there's only been a handful of times that I've ever really kind of dipped into that area of. So anyway, that's my little background there.
So if the Waffle House did have Wi-Fi, what do you think the top 3 best Wi-Fi passwords would be for the Waffle House?
Well, password would be one.
Yeah, I mean, they had to make it simple. If it's free Wi-Fi, it would be like either Waffle House, password, scrambled eggs.
Easy eggs.
It just had to be house because Waffle House is way too long.
Yeah.
Grits and clicks.
Greasy.
Yeah.
That's where I first had grits, was the Waffle House. My first meal in North Carolina was the Waffle House.
It would suck if they like made the password something like scattered, covered, smothered, chopped, diced. Like it was like all the different options that you could get.
Right.
Password is #it's not real steak.
Yeah. I would think it'd probably be hash browns or something like that. Yeah.
I have an interesting story about the Waffle House, our first, but I won't tell it on night because it's I don't know how it'll come across. So,
okay.
So, Jack, I'm curious though, like with your grits, like because I remember, why am I Illyrio's wife's name? Christine. I remember the first time she ever had grits, I was with her, and she made the very common mistake of like, oh, I'll just have them plain, and you're like, no, like because that's the worst. Because everybody who's not from the South thinks, oh, well, plain will be basic, and like that'll be fine. It's like no. Plain grits are god awful. Like you have to put salt and pepper or cheese or something in them.
Yeah, like Brandy said, I had cheese because I asked him. I said, "I've had grits," and of course the whole restaurant stopped and looked at me. I go, I go, what's it? I go, what is it? What is a grit?
Cornmeal.
I go, but I want to try it. So she goes, okay, but you're not going to want it like you said, plain. This options. I go. Put some cheese. Yeah, put some cheese on it and whatever. And I liked it. It was. I haven't had it since, but
I can't remember what he called. One of my classmates when I was in grad school was from Kenya, and it was some just name I couldn't enunciate, but it was like this fluffy grit is what it was. He would make it basically the same way he made grits, but it was almost like a doughy, kind of like a wet bread kind of thing. And I remember eating it. I was like, oh, it's grits. And he's like. He got kind of offended like it's not grits. I was like, it is grits. And it tastes exactly like grits, and it's the same ingredients, but I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So,
the waffles were good. I will say that.
I like the waffles. Yeah, it didn't matter. I get the pecan, blueberry, or plain. They're good.
No, I don't do that.
What?
I don't like pecans or blueberries. So
what's wrong with you, Jack?
I do love some blueberries.
I did want to mention just like, or at least go around the horn and just see what everybody was watching, in the past past week or something. If you guys have been watching anything new, any movies that you checked out, shows? No, nothing.
I really haven't.
I just talked to you guys on Wednesday.
I've been very, very busy with work, to be honest with you. So I haven't really had done a whole lot. I did have the last 2 days off, which was phenomenal, and I honestly can't tell you what I did.
Well,
it's been nonstop.
The only new thing I can think, it's not new though. The only thing I've been watching recently is History Channel's Alone. I love that series.
What is it?
Alone. It's kind of like Survivor, but the ultimate Survivor. And I think this is the 6th season they've done it. They usually do it once a year. And they take 10 survivalists. So it's people that have actually been military trained or they have their own survival schools or whatnot. And they drop them off at some remote place in the world. And basically it's the last person to tap out wins. And this year it's for $1 million. It's always been for $500,000.
So it's like Navy SEALs, right?
But you have what most people quit is either because they're either just lost too much weight or they're just tired of being by themselves. But they're great. You see them build log cabins, they're out there like snaring rabbits and squirrels. And to me, it's the ultimate survivor show. And I think the 2nd episode aired last Thursday. So the 3rd will be this coming Thursday. And it's always just a great show because you're seeing, it's not just like the same thing. It's like every person that there has a different skill set, and what tools they decide to bring with them. And so it's interesting to see like how each person adjust to this environment they're set in. if you like camping like I do, it's just an interesting way of like, oh, that's some pretty cool stuff.
A fun show, but
yeah. I mean, the only 2 seasons were kind of okay. Well, I mean, they were the first 2, which they were on Vancouver Island, and the reason why most of them quit is because it rained so much there that they could never start a fire. They couldn't eat anything, and they're like, "I'm just so miserable. I want to quit." But they're ever since then. That's been great. They had one in Mongolia, one in Patagonia. They're up in very northern Canada this season. They always in extremes, so it's pretty good.
Should go to Florida.
That's just that's a different kind of survival.
Yeah, my wife and I are doing the Deadwood rewatch.
Oh,
again. She wanted to watch it. I said, "I'll watch it." I love the show. So we're already in the season. We're starting season 3. Started like a week ago.
Okay,
much like 4 or 5 episodes at a time.
Somebody should watch Das Boot.
Yeah, I saw. I am looking forward to the Tom Hanks movie that's going to be on Apple TV on July 10th.
I am too. I don't have Apple TV though, but it's one of those things. It's one of those things that really irks me, just historically, because he's way too old to be in the Navy, and you're like, there's no way that he would be a captain in the Navy at this point in his career.
Well, maybe they'll explain it. Yeah, maybe.
Nick, when was the last time you bought a phone?
An Apple phone, or just any?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
When was the last time you got your phone?
March 2019.
Okay,
I think. Yeah. Why?
I was just curious because anybody who's bought a Apple product like an iPad phone or a Mac since, I believe.
Oh right,
Of last year,
I
remember
you talking about
that.
I did.
Yeah. A couple days after I did. That's when it was.
Yeah.
They knew that, and they said, let's just fucking screw Jack.
Yeah,
and
major shareholder. But that's okay.
Because this one, I have not been pleased with the. I think this is a 10 plus or whatever, and it's been nothing but trouble since the day I bought it. Not to knock Apple, because I usually am pretty satisfied, but this one, there's a lot of stuff that just kind of freezes on it. I have to start it. I mean, to turn it off, turn it back on, and it'll work. And
stop watching porn.
Yeah,
just on the phone. I like zooming in. Andy
Samberg has a movie that looks like it looks like Groundhog Day or Groundhog Day. What's that? What was that TV show that was the girl kept dying? It was so good.
Russian Doll.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be like Groundhog Day and Russian Doll kind of mixed together. That they keep dying, but yet they keep ending up at the same place. So it's Adam Sandler and
okay,
not Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg and somebody else.
Now the last new show I watched was Upload, which I did talk about. That's a good show. I mean, it's not gonna blow you away, as in like, holy crap, that's a good show. But just for lighthearted entertainment, it's like, hey, I'm glad I watched it.
I finished What We Do in the Shadows, which I really enjoyed that, and found out. Thank you, Matt Treist, in the comments when we were talking. I didn't realize that it was based on a movie as well. So now I want to see the movie that it was. Originated, but a very funny show. If you guys are looking for a lighthearted summer comedy,
wait, is it a real summer comedy or is it?
It's What We Do in the Shadows. So I really enjoyed it. There's some really funny comedy in there. So definitely. What are you showing us now?
My daughter for Father's Day got me this DVD player that hooks up to my computer. Well, the first one she got me didn't work. So she got me.
Never heard of that in my life.
She got me, so I can watch. I've seen this show 100. It's actually a great family show. It's the last show we as a family watched. I said, "You're going to love this show," because they were a little hesitant because I told them the same thing about some other shows I used to watch and they didn't like it. This show everybody liked. Unfortunately, this guy right here killed himself midway through season 3, I think.
Oh.
And they brought another guy in that didn't look anything like him, but they made him Smith, Alias Smith and Jones. It's you would like it, Nick. It's basically what would happen if Butch Cassidy and Sundance were allowed to
love and live with one another in an open relationship.
If they could go, remember how they wanted to go? They joined the army. And get immunity or whatever it was. This is what the show's based on. Haley Smith and Jones. You can't go wrong.
My dad
can't be Western.
My dad tried to get me while they were visiting to watch Yellowstone, which is the Kevin Costner Western. And the third season started, and I could not have been less interested in anything in my life. Because to me, it just seemed like a really weird soap opera Western.
It's not good?
Well, I mean, considering that I started with the first episode of the third season, I have no idea who these characters are and what's going on. But the first episode did not impress me at all. It just kind of seemed like I said, like, I want a Western. I don't want a family drama, like, oh my God, they're trying to take the cattle. Like, I was like, what the hell is this?
But that's a Western. Yeah.
But it's more like property rights and stuff. I want freaking, if I'm going to watch something, I want Shane. I want, Jack Palance going, pick up the gun. Like, I'm just a sheep farmer guy. Like, I want something with a little bit of drama. Come on.
You want like Robert Redford saying, "Can I move?"
Right. What do you mean move?
What do you mean move? Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
I also have been watching a lot of the old Disney movies on Disney Plus with my kids.
Oh.
It's like, like during the summer days, it's hot. We'll go swimming, but you reach this point, like after they've been swimming, you get home, time to get a dinner in them and showers. And then you're like, okay, let's
for the apple dumpling game.
Yeah, I think we watched The Cat from Outer Space, which I was surprised. I didn't realize that there was 2 MASH alumni in that movie. Like, so
McLean Stevenson?
And
that's right? It's McLean Stevenson.
Yeah, McLean Stevenson, and I'm trying to think of
God, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Potter, the actor that plays
Harry Morgan.
Yeah, Harry Morgan. Thank you. I wanted to say Henry, and I knew that was wrong.
Who replaced McLean Stevenson?
Yeah, I know. It was weird. I was like, the whole time I'm watching, I was like, guys?
Well, Harry Morgan was in a lot of the Disney movies, wasn't he?
They owned his soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we watched, what was the other one that we watched tonight?
World's Greatest Athlete. You should watch that one. Jan Conway.
Oh, we watched The Rescuers. It was more of a cartoon, not a live action. But
right.
But we have.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
So there's some fun stuff on Disney Plus. At least so worth checking.
I'm paying for it. I should watch some of that stuff.
There's a lot. Exactly. There's a lot of stuff. I'm almost afraid though because there's so much stuff from my childhood that's on there that I have not watched since then. I don't want to what the hell is this crap? It's like when you go back and you watch G.I. Joe from the 80s and you loved it as a kid and all of a sudden you forgot about all those public service announcements that are in there and like how nothing ever gets resolved. And you're like, what's going on with this?
Do they have Herbie the Love Bug?
Yeah, they have all the Herbie. That was one of the movies.
The first one, King Jones.
Dude, we used to rent the Herbie movies all the time. I remember from the video station. It was before Blockbuster made it to my hometown.
You still
rent all the Herbie movies.
I wanted a Volkswagen Bug just because of Herbie Love Bug.
Yeah. That is definitely on our list. We also watched, although it's not on Disney Plus, I subjected my kids to Labyrinth.
So what do you mean subjected? That's a great movie.
No, I like it. I like the movie. And I enjoyed it because of all of its, but I think there was definitely a part. My wife was like, "Why was I afraid of this?" And my kids,
it's because of David Bowie's Codpiece. I mean, that thing is scary as hell.
Shit. I was like, "Cover your eyes, kids! Cover your eyes!" Where he's singing, and there's some good stuff though.
Escape from Witch Mountain, a Disney movie?
It is.
I think it is. Yes. Yeah, you got to watch Black Cauldron. There's a lot of stuff that you can't hardly find unless it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I'm almost like Nick though. Do I want to go back and watch these? Because, like you said, you remember as a kid. Oh, that was such a great movie. I loved that movie as a kid, and you wanted to go because I've been with my grandson. He's 10 months old, and I every kid I have, I try when I'm feeding him the bottles. I try and find a show they'll watch, and I've been watching The Brady Bunch, and I think I talked about it last week because you got Peter who's not looking. You guys saw it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and on a limb here, Jack. I don't know if anybody else is going to agree with me. I don't really get what you were saying about him in that video.
It's because you look at all the other kids. They're here's a story of a man named Brady, and you see like the dad pops up center screen, and you see Greg look actually at him, but you know that the person who's shooting is saying, "Okay, look to your right." Like you're looking at someone. Yeah, like stage director. Like, look to your right.
And he's got the easiest one.
Yeah, he's got, because he's level, and he doesn't. He looks down, not like directly, but he looks slightly down.
Like this.
And it's just like, what are you doing?
I go, what the fuck is he doing? I go, he's not even looking at
it's bad stage direction where you thought, like, did they just do one take to where it's like, oh, okay, we got it. It's like,
just like this. That's all I had to do. And he's got his head down. I go, what the heck? Every other kid, you watch every other kid, they're doing it right. But not Christopher, what's his name? Christopher Knight. He was stoned out of his mind. But anyway, so I'm watching the Brady Bunch, and I'm like going, a show that I loved as a kid. I probably have seen every episode. I can tell you what episode it is when, it's one of those shows like Gilligan's Island. I'm watching. I told my wife, I go, man, this show just doesn't hold up. It is terrible. It's so bad. And I'm like going, John, the UPS guy, Peter takes after his mother. But that's creepy, Jack. What's creepy?
By the way, in the chat, I mentioned Me in Tights is on Hulu. I meant to say Men in Tights. Okay, so just to clarify there for those.
I almost canceled fucking Hulu.
When I worked
so you're wearing tights now. Nice.
When I worked at Best Buy, though, I think it still exists. You can get the entire Mel Brooks collection for like $20, like every film he ever made, except for the first one, The Producers. It's in one box set. Yeah.
Oh, we should probably talk about how Kyle Reiner passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very talented person. Very funny.
Yes.
He was supposed to be he shot the pilot for Dick Van Dyke. He was supposed to be Dick, but he was. They said he looked too old to be with Laurie, even though he's probably the same age as, because I think Dick Van Dyke's like 95 or something.
Well, some people just look old. It's like, hell, even look at you.
Well, he's bald. He's bald. Let's
right. He looked old in the 70s.
Yeah.
That was
because he's bald.
Yeah.
That's like Steve Martin. He's always looked old. Even when he was in his 20s, he looked old.
Because he had gray hair.
He had gray hair, yeah.
I totally wanted to have gray hair in my 20s.
Gray hair is coming in.
Kayla, welcome back. You missed a whole huge speech.
Don't welcome her back. You know where she is.
Kayla, you missed the good podcast. Yeah. Anyway,
Nick confessed his undying love to me and the Democrats. It was really weird.
And that's why Matt's wearing tights now.
And Nick got a corgi over the weekend.
Yeah. So it ran away.
Posting corgi.
It run far. It has little short legs.
Oh, so the Peter imitation freaked her out. That's what he looks like. I'll post it on the damn. I'll post it on our show notes.
But what we were saying about like being disappointed in something that's old, though, like Chris said, when Disney Plus came out, like one of the things Chris wanted to watch was Flight of the Navigator. And I, as a kid, loved that movie. And I probably have not watched it probably since like '92, somewhere in there. And I'm terrified that if I turn that movie on,
it holds up.
It does. Okay, because like with Amy Herman and all the, it's like I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but we'll see.
No, it totally holds up. I mean, that might just be my. I love that movie so much. So maybe I'm
thanks, Matt.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I'll just say it because apparently we're all listening and laughing, and I just want the listeners to know. But
I'll do my Peter.
In the chat, I put disappointments and old things. See Jack. So there you go.
Womp.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're such a dick, man.
I try.
He's fan favorite.
I you know what? We could put it up to a poll. I guarantee I do not.
You're the mimosa of this podcast. Everybody knows it.
The mimosa.
Only you could get away with some of the shit you say and type and still have people love you.
Exactly.
I tip my hat. So
yeah.
Oh, I haven't even read the private chat in a while.
I did not write anything in the private chat today. This is I should have, but I did not. Anyway, I know we usually go for 2 hours. I was trying to keep this to an hour and 30.
Kim mentioned the Brady Bunch was on Friday nights. I hate to interrupt you, but also the Partridge Family was after that. I think the Partridge Family would still hold up because the music's still good.
That's something I think we talked about a while back. I'm amazed how the nights of popular television have evolved throughout time, because in the 90s, Thursday night was it. That's when everything came on.
Must-see TV.
Must-see TV. Yeah, exactly. And then, basically since The Sopranos, it's kind of slowly evolved to where Sunday is the day where everything, and it's like, it's just how it's funny how it changes.
It used to be Saturday because you had Bob Newhart, Mary Tyler Moore, you had All in the Family, and I don't think the Jeffersons were on Sunday night. But anyway, you had great sitcoms, and then at 10 o'clock they'd have a drama or something like that. But yeah, now Saturday they don't even put regular TV on, do they?
Nothing's on Saturday. The only thing that's on Saturday is like I'm still one of the few people that looks what movies debuting on HBO on Saturday night. That's it. That's the only thing I look for on Saturday. But I remember some show came out years ago. It was like on one season, I think it was on a Wednesday night. It did pretty good. It wasn't the greatest, but and then they were like, "Oh, we're moving it to Fridays," and I was like, "Ooh, that's the kiss of death." It's like that show's getting canceled.
Yeah. Well, they did that with was it Hawaii Five-0? No, it was another show. They moved to Friday. No, it was Amazing Race.
Oh.
They moved it from Sunday to Friday. I go, why would they do that? And the argument was because the NFL games always went long, which would push 60 minutes, and then back would push everything back. By the time the last show goes off, it's going off at 11:30. So, well, here's an idea. Why don't we just start the NFL games? We'll start instead of 1. We'll start them at 12:30. Start the next games a half hour early. That's just me. Just throwing it out there for argument's sake.
Can't break tradition unless there's a pandemic. So, as I was going to mention about wrapping the show up, even though I love hanging out with you dudes, and Chris is totally backing me up on this. He's like,
do you have a bath to get to?
Chris has a tuck-in appointment.
He's got a Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Dallas and Falcon Crest. John is right. Anyway.
Thanks, John. Thanks for derailing Jack again. So, does anybody think that the primary sex day of the week for couples moved from Saturday to Sunday when they switched the TV thing? Anyway, sorry, that was a side note. I wanted to mention that. If you enjoyed this show, and with facts like this, who can resist?
Dukes of Hazzard wasn't fright, but you can't say that anymore.
But that was a replacement show.
You can say Dukes of Hazzard. You just can't drive the fucking car.
Well, you can't have the show anymore because the car's in every episode, isn't it?
The car's the main character.
Get the new boys. Come on, Flash.
When we last left the Duke boys, they were taking down the Mississippi flag.
That's what cracks me up about like a lot of those shows like that. Like, Gilligan's Island. Like, how many episodes can you make where you're doing the same thing? It's the same as Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. It's the same episode every episode.
And there is no way that the Harlem Globetrotters would end up in Hazard County.
No. But Dukes of Hazzard never had a real big giant spider that was like in a cave, did they?
No.
Ever? Okay.
No.
They would have outrun it if it did. They should have drove the car through it. They would have jumped off right into the spider and it splattered everywhere, and they'd be like, "Yeah!"
John says, "Is the RCAD better on Tuesday or Wednesday?"
I can Wednesday. We're a little, But hey, if you really do like giant spiders and you're trapped on a deserted island, you can still use our Amazon affiliate link to get that spider spray. It is jandjack.com/Amazon. Oh, fuck. Did I fuck it up? It was amazon.com/jandjack. I always forget because by this point in the podcast, I've drank too much. Not tonight, though, but maybe. Other
Is that
things.
what you were tonight?
What?
You're sober?
No, I had some.
He was shaking it earlier.
I had Kahlua and coffee.
He was shaking it, but
you can help us out by rating and reviewing this show. Send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com.
Once again?
I don't need to say it again.
Because we get so many.
Well, maybe that's why we don't get any, because it's broken tradition.
You can become a patron by going over to jandjack.com. Click on the patron link there. Become a patron. Help us out in whatever way you can. We appreciate it. I don't know if you understand how much we appreciate it, but we do. It's the glue that keeps us coming back week after week. Although somehow I think I would still be here with Jack. I would still be here with Jack till the end.
You don't like me anymore?
No, I do. I love you. Fuck.
For fuck's sake, we're trying to end the show.
All right. On that note, we want to thank some other people that we love more than Jack. Some patrons that make this show possible.
That's a short list.
I tried to come up with something that was.
Don't waste your time. It's a show.
It was themed for the weekend. So this is July 4th themed.
Weekend at Burns.
The United Tax of America. The Bill of Eckhart Richter Rights. I know I was really hard to fit in something with Eckhart Richter, but I love this one. This is my favorite. The Ed, White, and Blue. Sir, tip of the hat to you.
That's not bad. No.
Okay, stay with me on this one. It's America, Maggie. That's right. America, comma, Maggie. Or that's not a comma, whatever the fuck that is. Blind Justice Joanne. So the JJ thing works. Blind Justice Joanne.
Drooling on the
and maybe the best, but this is the greatest generation, Greg. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for making this show possible.
Damn, so you're making him old.
I'm saying he's the greatest generation, Greg. Like of all Gregs, it's like the biggest.
Oh, so that'd be the great generation.
Joanne's got a lot of responsibility right now. So, but anyway, thank you though, patrons, for making this show possible. We will be back probably in 2 weeks' time. I think we're taking next week off. So, join us in 2 weeks when
enjoy your Independence Day safely. If you drink a fucking mimosa during the fireworks show, you're a goddamn idiot.
Can I have a mimosa?
I'm having a beautiful fireworks. Let me have another mimosa.
Boom! Ooh! Ah! Ooh!
I'm gonna drink my. I mean,
ooh! Ah! Ooh! Ah!
You know what? I will be drinking mimosa over vacation in the morning, literally at 8:30 in the morning, while we're waiting for the 4th of July parade to happen. We drink mimosas in the morning.
You should just have a Bloody Mary.
Oh, you know what? It's a great idea. I'm gonna do that.
I'm
against mimosas this year.
I know nobody ever reads the little comments that I post on the YouTube, but I felt that this was the best part of the show, at least to close it out. So I'm going to do my best to sing this. We have 2 songs this week. Songs to open up the show. Songs to close up.
Did we have one to start with?
Yeah, we did.
I don't know if I can... my little red wagon, front wheels busted in the axles dragging. You can't run in my little red wagon anymore today.
We'll meet again.
Second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder, a little bit worse.
Great show, kids. It was 1 in a million.
Man, I thought you were going to